Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain on this Warrior Wisdom Wednesday. That's right, we're going to talk about a little bit of warrior wisdom and applying that to our daily lives. You know, I started out the day posting some things on my Facebook pages, and on your Warrior's Edge page, the page I have dedicated to more warrior philosophy and martial arts, I posted a quote by Marcus Aurelius. That quote was, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Pretty simple advice. Great advice that more of us need to follow, especially those that follow the warrior's path, that live with the warrior's edge. Many martial artists claim to live as warriors. They have tenets on the wall, quotes like this by Marcus Aurelius and others. And sadly, some don't really follow them. You know, I was attacked by a couple martial artists a number of years ago, savagely. They were posting all over just lies and filthy things about me, calling the places where I taught, calling the state bar, calling my home and family when I wasn't there. Just terrible. And these same martial artists would then post about virtues. Okay, they sure weren't living by them. So I think Marcus Aurelius's words, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it," are something that all of us should live by, especially those that want to follow the warrior path. Before I share you something else about right and wrong for warriors, I want to say good morning to Thad, who's here. Appreciate you saying good morning. Want to say good morning to Vito, although it's not morning, it's evening for Vito. Said he hasn't made it, said sorry he couldn't make it the last few days. That's okay, Vito. I just appreciate when you do show up and say hello. Hope things are going well for you. So I wanted to share something as well. This is out of the Code of the Samurai by A.L. Sadler. This is one of several translations that I have of Daidoji Yuzan's Budo Shoshinshu. So that's the Japanese samurai, and Budo Shoshinshu was the original name of this. It's often called the Code of the Samurai in English, and there are a number of translations of this. This is one that I grabbed off the shelf. And I wanted to read part of the section on right and wrong. Because, you know, it's good for me to talk about right and wrong and others, but sometimes I like to look at something old and somebody wise who wrote some things of how a samurai should live and behave. And let's look at some of what he wrote about right and wrong. One who is a warrior should have a thorough understanding of these two qualities. If he knows how to do the one and avoid the other, then he will have attained to Bushido. And right and wrong are nothing but good and evil. For though I would not deny that there is a slight difference between the terms, yet to act rightly and do good is difficult and is regarded as tiresome, whereas to act wrongly and do evil is easy and amusing, so that naturally most incline to the wrong or evil and tend to dislike the right and good. But to be thus unstable and make no distinction between right and wrong is contrary to reason, so that anyone who understands this distinction and yet does that what is wrong is no proper samurai, but a raw and untaught person. And the cause of it is small capacity for self-control. Though this may not sound so bad, if we examine into its origin, we find it arises from cowardice. That is why I maintain that it is essential for a samurai to refrain from wrong and cleave to what is right. Got to agree with that. Doing what's wrong often comes from cowardice, and we need to do what is right. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. I mean, Marcus Aurelius was right on point with that. This Code of the Samurai, right on point. If you want to be a warrior, if you want to be a good person, we must do what is right. And we know the difference. We often know the difference, and then we ignore it because it's more convenient to do what is wrong. And this goes to little things as well as major things. Yeah, it's very easy to say, well, I do what is right. I don't go rob banks and steal and cheat and lie for personal gain. But what about the little things that we know what's right and wrong, but it's just easier to not do it? Is it right or wrong to leave your shopping cart out in the middle of the parking lot? I personally think it's wrong. I was sitting in my car one time, waiting for my wife in the store, and across the parking lot, I saw an abandoned cart that had been left there by somebody who drove off, and that cart, the wind blew, and that cart started rolling, and it rolled and smashed right into the door, putting a big dent in the car door. The person who left that cart was wrong. If they would have put that cart away with the places where you have to put them, it wouldn't have dented that person's car and caused that person pain. Okay, so even simple little things like that. Lots of little simple things. You drop some garbage. Is it right or wrong to pick it back up and then throw it where it belongs? Is it right or wrong just to toss garbage out your window of your car? Saw a scumbag the other day throw a lit cigarette out the window. Yeah, it's not going to start a fire right now in this type of year, but doing that in the summer, which he probably does as well, can start fires. Not to mention dogs and kids and whoever else coming by, pick that up and want to play with it or put it in their mouth if it's a little kid. Just pretty disgusting and just a little thing. But we know what's right is to dispose of garbage properly, not to litter and throw it around. But sometimes it's just easier to toss it out the window, and people do. So we need to look at things when we're talking about right and wrong from all levels, not just the big things. Yeah, I'm a righteous person. I've never murdered anyone. That's not the only guideline we need to look at. We want to look at everything. How we treat other people, how we behave, what we do. Are we doing what is right? Or are we cowards in doing what's wrong? If we look at the old ancient texts of the samurai, doing wrong because they're coward. Another quote I really like is here on my coffee mug. The time is always right to do what is right. Martin Luther King Jr. He was a warrior, not the warrior with weapons and in battles, but he stood for what was right. He led people for what he dreamed. That's warriorship. That's leadership. And he was so true with that quote, the time is always right to do what is right. Makes sense? Have I always done what is right? No. I don't think any of us can look at ourselves and say we've never done anything wrong. Okay? But every day we wake up, we have a chance to do what is right that day. And then tomorrow we do it again, and then again, and then again. And we do our very best to do what is right. And if it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Because the time is always right to do what is right. That's a little bit of warrior wisdom for you today that can apply to everyone and should apply to everyone. Dixon's here. I want to say good morning. And Dixon said, howdy, Vito from Texas, and hi to everyone else. Thank you, Dixon. Appreciate you showing up. Tobacco Row says, but I'm still the king of everything. Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but thank you. Appreciate you joining and saying hello. Everybody, go out, make it a Warrior Wisdom Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow.